Hi, my name is Olga, and this is my channel about startups. And today we will have a very interesting conversation about sales in a startup. I know that the hardest thing for any founder is actually to get first clients. Sometimes it's even harder than build a product because you can build something, work on something for many days or maybe even months or years, and you believe in your baby, you think it's beautiful, but then when you go out and try to sell it, you figure out that no one is buying it. And there could be two main questions. Maybe no one wants my product. That's the question for customer development. And second question is, maybe I am doing something wrong in terms of sales, why no one is buying my product. So today we will talk about second part of this conversation about sales and what shall we do to make sure that our sales are well established and that we follow the process that is quite straightforward. And first thing actually to build sales is to build your clients' avatars or your clients' portraits to understand who is my client. And in general, you will have several avatars or several segments that can be very different. And I will give examples based on my own startup. I'm a founder of a startup that raised $3 million in Silicon Valley, and I'm talking based on my experience. So for me, for example, to build different avatars or segments, you have to answer several questions. What kind of industries my clients sit in? What kind of segments these are? What sizes they have? What is the size of this company? Or if we talk about B2B or in B2C, where who are my clients, where they are, what is their behavior, what are their everyday routines, etc. We want to make our portraits to be 3D, to be very realistic. So it's not just a woman who likes shopping. It's a very realistic portrait of a woman who wakes up at 8 a.m. in the morning, has her gymnastics, then goes and have her breakfast outside in a city center, and then she calls her boyfriend and talks, and then she has some shopping, etc. So it's a very 3D portrait of your client. If we talk about B2B clients, for example, that is my case. I'm now in a B2B sector and I sell to direct to consumer brands, to e-commerce stores. My segments, these are D2C brands that sell apparel, D2C brands that sell wine, D2C brands that sell cosmetics. And these brands, they can be of different sizes. And I can also state that. So I make a very 3D like portraits of my clients. And I know that, for example, very small clients don't work for me. So I need clients with a revenue of at least 1 million or $10 million ARR, annual recurring revenue. So that's my, from this threshold, I'm interested in clients. I'm not interested in clients that are of a less size. So that's very important to make my portrait 3D. Then I ask myself, what are those titles? What are the titles of people in these companies that I am interested in? Are those people from marketing department? Who are they? Are they directors, managers, executives, vice presidents? Are they from maybe logistics department? In my case, I am interested in uh, VP of logistics, in VP of e-commerce, and or directors in VP maybe of sales. I am not interested in operations, marketing, IT. That's not something I'm gonna sell to. I'm gonna sell to head of e-commerce, head of logistics, etc. So I know titles. In terms of B2C, for example, I build product that I will sell to households and more precisely to women who manage budgets in households, for example, or to men who don't have families and live on their own and manage their budget. So I know exactly the title. And all this information can be built based on customer development conversations that I have with my clients, potential clients. After I build these portraits, I am asking myself, where can I find these people? And as I am a startup, of course, I am looking for very cheap ways to find my first clients to outreach them. So, second step after I predefine my avatars or portraits, and that can be changed. I can go back and constantly revise my portraits. Second step, I am thinking about outreach. Where can I find them? And as a startup, I want to find channels that will be very cheap for me, and basically that is usually cold emailing, LinkedIn, and sometimes cold calling. Conferences, events are more expensive. Sometimes, quite often, startups can afford that at the beginning. So after I ask myself, what are the outreach channels? I am looking for a database of contacts, and from my experience, we were using Apollo IO, which is a very cheap source of emails that I can use for outreach. Also, there is Zoom Info, but Zoom Info is more expensive. And then I just build my database and I do outreach. Also, I can use LinkedIn and do lots of networking and then contact people and talk about my product. And that's a separate topic, how to build an email or LinkedIn email. So let me know if you're interested in that. I will talk more. Also, cold calling. But cold calling usually is not as efficient as, for example, cold emailing, especially if cold emailing is well built, because you need more time or you need to hire people. And usually, when startups try to hire people, and that's my experience again, we hired two call centers, one in Philippines and one in the US, to call our American clients, and both didn't work because it's very hard, even for people with American accent that were brought up here, to sell something that is not a product that startup is still looking for market for. So it's very hard to sell something that doesn't really exist yet fully on the market. And I am certain that founders have to make first 10 sales, B2B sales themselves, and first 100 B2C sales themselves. After you do that, you can start hiring call centers or salespeople. But first, sales, you should do that themselves. We built very good scripts for our call center, but unfortunately, it just didn't work because it's very hard, first of all, to get through the line of when you do cold calling and get to the person you need, and then to sell something that is quite complicated, in my case, an IT solution for logistics. So think about that. But I would say that cold emailing and LinkedIn works well. If you have some budget, do some conferences. Think where your clients can be. In my case, I'm selling to D2C brands. These are conferences like Shop Talk that is held every year in the US or even twice a year, and others that you can go to and do a booth and sell your idea or your solution. I would say it's very expensive, but if you have some budget, try it. So you can look for other places where your clients can sit and do some outreach, outbound and inbound as well. I would say marketing and advertising is something you could also try if you are sure that your product is well built and really the hypothesis is live, that there is a need on the market. So you can just use some amount of money to sell to these clients. But if you're still not sure that you found the right audience. Your product found product market fit. It will be a waste of money to just spend it on marketing. So think about that. But I will not cover marketing now, because we still don't do it, even though we almost reached 1 million ARR this year. We still don't do campaigns. So after you build your outreach, you have to rethink again your portraits and avatars, and split your outreach, make it different depending on to what kind of portraits you are trying to send your messages. So your emails should be built based on pains that each group has, and different groups will have different pains. For example, in my case, wine shippers, they have a pain of signature that they require when delivering. So delivering to residential addresses is quite expensive because people are not always there and they have to redeliver. So our pickup locations solve their pain of redelivering. For apparel, that's another pain, porch piracy. They don't need signatures, so they leave their packages on porches and they get stolen. And then clients complain and they send new packages and they pay for it. Brands, so for them, porch piracy is a problem, as well as expensive residential delivery, etc., etc. So different portraits and different avatars will have different pains, and you have to know it based on your customer development to use these pains to create your outreach. After that, you ask yourself, do I know everything about sequences? If you start doing cold emailing, you have to know that it's not just one or two emails you send to each particular lead. You have to send a sequence. A sequence is a thread of emails that you send with maybe changing a little bit the subject, changing a little bit the title. Maybe keep going on your conversation so your lead will kind of think about you more and more, and at some point make the right push the button reply or schedule a call. So it should be a sequence, and sequences, you have to test what kind of titles work best for each portrait, what kind of subject titles and body of your email, and what's the conversion. Do your potential leads open an email? If they do, it means your title and subject work quite well, but you have to build many different titles and test them. That's kind of A/B tested. You have to test different subjects, different approaches to find the best ones that work the best. Usually, conversion to opening 50 to 60% is the one we are looking for, at least. If they open, okay, what's the conversion to reply or schedule the meeting? Sometimes conversion of 5 to 10% sounds good. If you can do more, great. If you can't, something is wrong, maybe with the body, maybe with the person you are sending your email to. Maybe the title you defined is the wrong one. You need different kind of people to send to talk to sell to. It's not your clients. That also might be the case. So body, title, sequences, plain A/B testing with all of that. And then, of course, to do all that, you might need a CRM, because you can't just, send emails without any feedback from some kind of system that tells you, okay, that works and that doesn't work. And believe me, you might think, oh, I'm too small for a CRM, that's too expensive. First of all, there are different CRMs, play with that. We use Hubspot, and it has some kind of deal for startups. There is Salesforce, etc. Maybe there is some CRM in your country. Think about that. But as a startup, you have to start from 0 day using a CRM, because it will help to keep track of your leads, of all the sequences. You could get kind of feedback from the system telling you, like a report, read the report, and keep track of all your leads and all your sequences. And the last but not the least is the question, okay, I'm a founder. I have lots of things to do. Do I need to sell myself? Can I hire people? The short answer is no. Do not hire salespeople unless you 100% sure that you found a product market fit. If you haven't found a product market fit, if you haven't made uh, or done first 5 to 10 B2B sales or 50 B2C sales yourself, don't hire salespeople, because you will never know if it's a salesperson who can't sell or if it's your product that is not selling. And as a founder, you have to get this first feedback, and understand what are the pains of each segment of your clients. And only after you build your CRM, your sequences, you got first leads, first meetings, and first sales, you can hire people. That's it about sales. I hope that was an interesting content for you. Please give me some feedback, your comments, likes, shares. Thank you so much. Bye.